Ladies and gentlemen, this is the ultimate guide to real estate investing. I'm excited to share this video with you. In this video, I'm gonna show you the step-by-step process of how to get started with real estate investing. I know, exciting, right? So now we're gonna be talking about finding the best deals. We're gonna be talking about analyzing how to get the most out of those deals. We're gonna talk about getting financing in place and all kinds of good stuff. This is a great way for anyone, regardless of experience level, to get started making money in real estate. Now, we've used this exact process to help hundreds of families get started in real estate, so why not you too, right? So whether you're a beginner or an experienced investor, there is something for everybody in this video. Let's go. All right, real estate investing can feel like this intimidating climb up Mount Everest, right? I mean, how terrifying would it be to climb up Mount Everest? I mean, it could feel like you could only succeed if you have just the right set of conditions, or in real estate, if you have just the right property or have just enough capital to break in and make sure that you take advantage of a super lucrative market. You know, the reality is that real estate investing doesn't have to be complicated. I think a lot of people overcomplicate it, to be totally honest. I think it can be broken down to a really simple set of steps, and with the right strategy, you can find investment opportunities that'll give you wins that you can stack up, micro win your way to millions of dollars with simple and conservative real estate. Now, the great thing is that this strategy works regardless of your experience level. We're gonna use really plain language and we're gonna just demystify this confusing jargon that comes along with real estate, and we're just gonna give you a really clear path to success. So if you're ready to do this, let's go. Okay, step number one. Find a guide, not a guru. Now, we talked about Everest at the start of this video, right? Think about this. If you were gonna go climb Mount Everest, would you wanna pay somebody who'd never been to Everest, never climbed Everest, but studied it a lot and said, hey, here's the best way to get up to the top of Mount Everest? That's a guru. A guru is somebody who tells you something and then they expect you to exchange money for that thing that they tell you, and they're supposed to be the expert in all things. So my question for you is, would you rather have a guru or a guide? Would you rather have somebody telling you how to get up Everest, or would you want to have somebody who's gone up Everest tons of times, who's done it in a variety of conditions, and who could tell you exactly what equipment to bring, and maybe what if they even carried you up the mountain part of the way, especially during the really dangerous parts? Would you rather have a guide or a guru? See, a lot of people in the real estate industry, they go and look for gurus. They look for people that are selling education, or people that are selling education that have no action tied to it, right? There's a lot of books, there's a lot of courses. Many of these people may be gurus, okay? One of the greatest ways to be able to tell if somebody is a guru as opposed to a guide is if they love to show you all of their fancy stuff, they're probably a guru. By showing you the fancy stuff, they're trying to attract you to them and say, don't you want the life that I obviously have? However, if you can find somebody that will take you by the hand and do it with you, that's a guide. And the reality is, you're the hero of the story, okay? When you go and talk to a guru, the guru wants to be the hero and you get to be their loyal subject. If you find a guide, you're the hero. You get to be Luke Skywalker. Go find your Yoda, okay? That's step number one, is find a guide, not a guru. Step number two. Now this one's really, really important. When you get into real estate, you need to make a plan to start where you are. I can't tell you how many times we talk to people that assume they can't get started in real estate yet, right? Because they don't know where they're gonna go and they don't know where they're gonna find the money, and they don't really know if now's the right time or if now's the right market or which market to be in. The best plan when it comes to real estate is the one that starts exactly where you are. Now, here's what this means. If you don't have very good credit, you need a plan to start to get some good credit so that you can go do real estate. If you don't have a ton of money, you need a plan to know how can you go and find capital to begin doing real estate. But there's a difference between assessing that there's a deficit and not taking action. That is just information that you may not act on. But a plan says, okay, even if there is a deficit between where you want to be and where you are, let's give you the precise next few steps of what you need to do. What's that? There's a old I don't know what you call it, saying, I guess, that says what the journey of 10,000 miles starts with one step. I mean, that's kind of the idea, right? Is how do you take one step and then another and then another? See, it's stacking micro wins one step at a time. One of the things that we've done for years with our clients is we do a game plan call, right? We'll talk to them and we'll say, where are you at? Where do you need to go? And how do we get you from here to there? Okay. It's like doing the mall mapping, right? You find that you are here star, you know where you want to go, and then you put a path together between here and there. And that only happens one step at a time. But the most important thing is that the plan has to start where you are, not where you're not. Okay. It's very difficult to begin where you're not. You got to begin where you are. Okay. So that's step number 2. Step number 3 is you need to get pre-approved. I'll tell you a story about some of our clients. We have these brothers. They're amazing, okay? They have this incredibly successful business, and they have done a lot of really good business for a lot of years. But now, if you know anything about taxes, not that I know that much, but I know a little bit, right? I know a little enough to say that there's plenty of ways for business owners to write off lots and lots of things, so it looks like you don't have a lot of income, right? Well, we had these brothers. They're phenomenal. They had a very successful business, and because they were making a lot of money, they didn't want the government in their pocket, right? So they wrote a lot of things off. And when you write a lot of things off, your taxes will say that you don't have a lot of, verifiable income. So these brothers who had tons of money in the bank, made tons of money, but their taxes did not show that they made money, could not qualify to do real estate. When we started to work with them, we sat down and we said, we need to put a plan together to show some income so that you can get qualified to do real estate. So it's important that you get pre-approved, not pre-qualified, because a pre-qualification could just be what's your credit? How much money do you make? You're pre-qualified. A pre-approval is, where are you? Where do you need to go? Precisely what is the scenario that we're in? And how do we take the proper steps to get you where you need to go? Now, before I jump into the last couple tips and last couple steps, I just want to say thank you so much for viewing. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button because we want to be able to hang out with you as often as we can. And you know what? Go ahead and hit that little bell as well so that we can let you know whenever there's a new video that comes out, okay? Because we are here to help you stack your way to micro millions, right? We want to do micro wins to millions. That's the whole idea of what we're trying to accomplish. So we're going to be sharing videos with you on how to replace your income, on how to do real estate, on where to start, on where to go, on how to create generational family wealth. So please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with somebody in your life that you feel like could benefit, because we want to hang out with you and your friends, okay? Now let's get back to the video because these last 2 steps are really, really good and I don't want you to miss out. So step number 4 in buying real estate and getting started is to pick a market and a property. Now, we could do lots of videos on how to pick a market and pick a property. So here's what I want you to focus on. It's one thing to have a plan. It's one thing to say, I want to go and do real estate. It's an entirely different thing to actually, when the rubber meets the road and you actually start moving forward. So it's important that you find a property, and you find a property in a market that jives with what you're trying to accomplish, okay? So all this means is you need somebody in your life that can help you assess what market to go to, what purchase price potentially, what you're trying to accomplish with the property, and helps you select a property that works with you, with your numbers, with the situation you're in order to achieve the cash flow that you want, or in order to start to build a portfolio that could do a lot of good for you in the future, okay? So you've got to pick a market and pick a property that's a good fit for you, and it's best to have a guide, not a guru, that can do that with you, okay? Somebody who's been there and who can tell you exactly what to do and exactly the kind of properties you should be looking at, okay? It's even better if you have somebody that can vet the property with their expertise for you. Then you can pick a property that's already been vetted and already been run through, a whole bunch of different calculations to make sure it's a good fit, okay? Step number 5, it may seem pretty simple, but you close on the property, you rent it out, and you repeat, okay? We are big fans of long-term rentals. It's not even really long-term rentals like you're gonna have them for 30 years, but what we've seen really work well with our clients is you buy a property, you hang on to it for 5 years, maybe 7 years. It depends on the market. Then based on what's happening in the market, you may determine that you need to sell the property and take the proceeds and do what's called a 1031 exchange and go buy a couple more properties. Or you may determine that the environment is such that you want to refi money out of a property in order to go buy another one. So the whole goal here is once you close on the property and you get a good tenant that's going to pay rent, which means you got to buy the right property in the right market with the right set of conditions, and you got to have a great property manager, and we'll talk about that in other videos of how you got to have a good property manager that can make sure that that property is going to perform for you and the tenants are going to be paying. Once you're in that scenario, you wait and you rent it out until it's time to sell or it's time to refi and grow again. So it doesn't have to be that complicated. You just need a little guidance and you need to start getting off the bench and taking action. So if you're ready to get into real estate, but the thought of having to be a landlord or even doing real estate is just too complicated, it's too much, even after some of the stuff that we've shared on this video, please give us a call or click the link below. And so that make sure that you subscribe to the channel, click the link below, schedule a call so we can get together, because investing in single family rentals is one of the smartest things you could do to combat inflation, to beat the stock market, to save on taxes. And now there's a new way to invest in them without you having to visit the property, without you having to take the phone calls. And we will help you do that very thing, because Done For You Real Estate, a whole thing we do is we offer a turnkey approach to simple and conservative real estate where we can do the majority of the work for you. You get to sit back and relax. We can find the property for you. We can get it financed for you. We can get it insured for you. We can get it fixed up for you. We can get it rented out, and you can still keep 100% of the profits, which means you're going to maximize your potential with real estate done the right way. So make sure you hit the link below, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you real soon.